So this is going to wrap up all of last week's training. I was out in California at CSA with Jesse for the first day of my week, and then kind of made it home and did the rest of my training there. The only thing I really didn't record is my Olympic lifting. For whatever reason, I just didn't. I felt like getting in the garage and doing the work and not really thinking about recording it. Some days it's nice. Sorry I didn't share. So this is a pretty standard, just a little banded warm-up for me getting ready to squat. Still doing speed work right now. Putting a little weight on. Seems to be helping with the throws. I'm not stoked that I seem to carry all of my extra weight right in my belly. But what are you going to do? It's time to perform. So this speed stuff for me out at CSA was 10 sets of 3. I'm not sure if I recorded all the sets or not. They're kind of boring to watch, but it's 10 sets of 3. I think I worked up to 160 kilos, just trying to stay fast, stay light. This should be about 65 to 70% is the range I'm trying to stay in. Really excited anytime I'm on the road and I get to train somewhere else and get somebody else's eye on me training, especially someone like Jesse. Jesse's been a huge help for me the last couple of years as far as my nutrition, as well as just in general. He's just a really knowledgeable coach, and if you need any help, I really recommend checking out PowerWatt and contacting Jesse. Everything from nutrition to strength to mobility. He's just seems to know his stuff kind of in all aspects. So really happy to be able to call that dude part of my team and helping me get better, or part of his team, or however you want to call it. Either way, Jesse's awesome. Check him out. So you can see here, I'm playing with the tempo a little bit, maybe slowing the first one down and then trying to fire the last two as fast as I can. I also end up doing some pause squats at the end for a accessory for a couple sets. Nothing really rocket science. Basically, I'm just trying to put some weight on my back and move it as fast as I can. My legs are still a little just dead overall from traveling, but you're gonna do what you're gonna do. And all in all, I'm pretty happy with the way I've been feeling. But it is definitely time now to start ramping up the throwing intensity. That's trying to say throwing intensity. I guess what I mean there is that I need to start taking every throw and training a little bit more serious and actually giving a shit about the effort I'm putting in. I spend a lot of time in about the 90% range of throwing, and I need to start finding that gas pedal for when I really want to stomp it. I need to be able to have it. And so unless you train a little bit in that zone to find some throws so you can be confident in whenever you really want to turn it on, you're not going to have it. So this is my speed bench. It's 10 sets of 3 again, and really running off a clock, keeping it no more than 2 minutes, about 90 seconds average rest. Really long enough just to F with the camera and then walk back around a little bit, reset my wrist straps, and get back under the bench. So this is 225 plus some doubled red bands. I don't know the actual weight. My left pec is still a little janky from when it was bothering me a couple weeks ago, but seems to be doing just fine. Nothing some mobility and some work with the physical therapist can't fix. This is kind of a last set. Just banging out some reps, trying to dump some blood in that pec and stretch it out a little bit. Did some single arm rows, 3 or 4 sets as an accessory. I like, if I'm going to do a horizontal push like a bench press, I like to balance that with a horizontal pull like a row of some sort. I vary the row up depending on what mood I'm in or what's available at the gym or what I feel like doing. I don't always feel like doing a dumbbell, and I don't always feel like doing a heavy barbell. So either one, it's just some more accessory work, and then played with this floppy cock tsunami bar lat pull down that Jesse and them just got. It's pretty neat. It's a fun toy. Adds a little bit more to the stability, trying to pull it in and lock it in at the bottom. So just getting some lats and trying to get the upper back a little stronger. Another day of trying to train, and we're pouring rain. since that's apparently the way things are gonna go. It's not ideal, but so I can't get out and throw, so I'm going to do more bounding. Yay! So, do what you can when you can. Cheers. So, back home from training, gonna do my bounding routine since I can't go throw. Usually starts with a couple minutes worth of jump rope. As you can see, I'm not a great jump roper, but I like that I'm forcing my body to react and be in timing and stuff like that. So whether I'm good or not at it, I'm going to do quite a bit of it. Then jump roping is good cardio. I mean, there's a reason boxers use it and they have a ton of cardio. So if it seems to work for people, don't question it. Just trying to keep the feet moving, find some rhythm to start practice. I do have a tendency that if I jump rope a little bit more than I should, one of my calves will lock up, and that's always fun. And then it takes me a couple days to actually work it back out, so it's kind of finding that happy medium. But doing some short sets of double unders I really like. I like having the quick explosive power, and then the hand timing. I think my rope here was actually acting like an asshole. The bottom of it finally tore away from the wire, so I had to clip that off, and after I clipped it off, it seemed to be a little bit better. These are just some, I guess, some reactive type jumps. Nothing's really high here, as you've heard me rant and rave. I don't believe in a high box. These are just basically trying to step off the box, hit the ground, and then react as fast as possible to exploding back up and actually pushing the hips, not just moving the legs. So a couple sets of these as well that day. I usually end up doing my bounding kind of in a circuit and just going in a rotation between whatever things I've decided to do that day, just to split up the monotony. Sorry about the big yawn. It is early and I am tired. Spent all day on the river in Texas. And it was a good weekend. And I've got a week or 2 weeks here to get ready for the game in Portland. I'm pretty excited about. So I can't throw in my garage, doing some weighted drills here with a 50-pound vest. It's a lot harder than I expected and kind of throws off the timing a bit, but it's still good work, so I'll do it. Just another angle of trying to get that. And really what I'm missing here on these, and I'm finding it more and more when I actually throw, is I need to shift my weight on top of that left foot. Instead of my hips are just kind of staying centered and the feet are on the outside. So I really have got to shift that weight to that left foot so I can drop that knee into the trig or into the ring and drive off that left foot to the toe board and get some linear. Whenever I do that, I just get so much more out of the throw because it's a linear push instead of just spin and hoping I can catch the timing. This is a little weight for distance drill. Really just catching the footwork. My weight for distance has never really been an issue, but just like anything else, if you want to be good at it, you keep working it. And more drills here, like I'm doing shot or stone, and by this point, my legs are pretty trashed. I did not record all the bounding. Last time I did bounding, you guys saw that I'm doing some single leg stuff off of a short box, and I did those again as well. I really like those for thinking about hitting that block position at the front of the trig and really exploding up. I find it to be key that I can react and plant that left and plant that right into the middle and really pop up into the air on a, I'm never going to hit a really low position while throwing, parallel or any of that. So it's going to be about a quarter squat that you're going to be exploding out of. Finishing the day with some knee mobility, rehab, some TKEs here. Basically just put the knee back behind my knee and then let it pull the knee forward and then use the quad to straighten it. I find this helps some patella tendonitis I have. It helps the knee track a little bit better. Plus, gives a sweet quad pump. So, happy to do those. And I'm out of breath, apparently. I don't know why. I decided to leave that in the video. As you can see, I was saying my my calf gets pretty jacked up, so I spent some time mushing it over here on the Sorinex trigger bar. It's really a great piece. If you've got a 3x3 rack, this will fit it. You know, a 3x3 rack with a 1-inch hole, this thing fits it great. Really digs in, and you just can't generate enough force on something on the ground to dig in correctly. Whereas with your standing and getting a foot up on it, seems to just create so much more force on it, and you can dig in. Keep harping that there's different mobility rules big guys have to play by, but this is one of them. And you want to get in there and dig in and try to break some of that stuff loose. My Achilles and calves and all that really aren't great, and my ankles sure as shit don't move as good as they should. But I'm going to attempt to make them better, and if nothing else, they're not going to get any worse. So, that's kind of the thing I'm thinking about. I know I need my ankles to move and not be basically concrete to help me throw far. So digging through and breaking up some of that tissue on my own time, as well as anytime I get in with my chiropractor or massage guy to do some grass work and dig through. Due to the lighting, it looks like I've got some weird discoloration in the ankles, and I don't know what that's from, but it looks gnarly as shit. I promise my legs are okay. I don't have any giant bruising or anything like that, but it looks pretty gnarly. Maybe it is. I don't know. Well, if it is, I'm basically fucked, and if you don't hear from me, it's because I'm dead. My ankles killed me. But cool piece. Check out Sorinex for it. Today is more speed training. Deadlifts. And say what I'd really go do is go throw, but again, the weather's shit, so that's not in the cards. But hopefully I've got some time in the morning actually to get out and throw a little bit. Get some work in. And then I can do the same Friday morning before I leave again. But at least this trip's gonna be fun. Heading out to New Bronzeville, Texas. Hang out with the old boy Spencer Tyler, his wife, some other friends, and do a river trip. Do some floating and some major fucking off. And should be all around a pretty great time. So, yeah, trying to get that last little fucking bit. And that is what I've got going today. Some speed pools, some accessories, and I'll make the most of it. Tired, I don't really feel like lifting or training at all this week, but work must get done. So speed deadlifts are what's in the cards, and last day of the week for me training, or not really, I guess I hit my Olympic lifts, but last week as far as this video is concerned. I know it's a little longer video. I got tired of doing the little daily videos, and I'd rather just do one long kind of week training of everything I'm doing. That way you can kind of see what's happening. Little warm-up, or part of my warm-up to get the hips moving, a little something different. Just using that band to pull the femur back and get some pressure on it and kind of start trying to break the hips loose a little bit from a long day. Typically in my truck if I had to guess what I did that day. But that's my life, and that's what you'll have to deal with. I did not record or decide to add all of the sets of 10 sets of 3 deadlifts. You kind of get the picture. I don't really change weight during those 10 sets, so it's just pulling as fast as I can at that weight the whole day. I know some people like to pyramid up the entire time they are training, and I like to spend some time working at a certain weight with my RX numbers and really working to pull that as fast as I can. Still using the Tendo unit really to get as much feedback as I can on the speed that I'm pulling the bar. Pulling the bar as fast as I can. You know, it's not necessarily the greatest form I've ever had for deadlifting, but I'm not really at a weight that's going to be an issue. So I just pull as fast as I can, trying to generate force and generate power. Mass times acceleration. That's what I've got going on. So a little bit more of the barbell warm up before I start deadlifting. I've started adding some sumo pulls into the first couple sets and actually doing some sumo work for my accessory work, since my hips really hate that position. But I want to be strong everywhere, and that's always been the goal. I never worked out to get weaker. So you do everything. And I'm looking mighty thick here in the midsection. I think it's all just the core work I've been doing probably. You can see these kind of do a 3 and 3 type of setup with sumo and the regular. There's no real weight on the bar, but I did this for the first couple sets. Probably 3 or so total. And then started moving up in weight. I don't really remember where I ended. We'll find out shortly. I think I worked up to, I don't know, 425 or something like that for speed pulls. Yeah, whatever this is. So, call it 420. Somewhere in that range. I don't really think about the weight so much. I know what I'm going to be required to do that day, and then I just put it on the bar and go. I think this is hit my 10 sets of 3 at the lighter weight, and then I started wanting to pull some singles since I felt okay. And worked up to 515 here and decided to go for some reps and hit 10, I believe. And pretty happy with how the bar moved the whole time. Yeah, pretty stoked on the way that felt. And this is some sumo pulls afterwards. Hit 3 or 4 sets of 10 just to really fatigue some stuff. And that's what my last week of training looked like. I had some more throwing, or actually no I didn't because of the rain. So cheers.